Hello there and welcome to Lecture 5. In this lecture, we're going to take a look at layers in Unity 3D. So open up Unity. Here we have the game object zombie we created in the previous lesson. Today, we're going to create a new game object. Okay, and we will place it at 0, 0, 0 position and change its name to zombie parent, as it will be the parent of some game objects we're going to create now. Okay, so drag and drop the zombie into the zombie parent. Okay, fine, and change its name to zombie1. Duplicate this zombie game object using the shortcut Ctrl D, or going to Edit, Duplicate. Okay, duplicate it 3 times so that we have 4 copies. Well, 4 instances of that game object. Okay, that's it. Zombie 1, Zombie 2, Zombie 3, and Zombie 4. Place them at random position all over the screen. Okay, for example, something like this. Okay, and try changing their colors. Okay, so click Zombie 1, go to the color property, click this, and select your own color. For example, I will select this. Maybe this. Okay, the color doesn't matter at all. Okay, so don't be worried, show your own colors. This is just for demonstration purposes. Okay, now we have here 4 zombies. What is a layer in Unity? A layer works much in the same way as in Photoshop or Illustrator, GIMP, Inkscape, etc. Okay, a layer is a container for game objects that share some similarities. For example, here are 4 zombies. Then it should be logical to group them into one into one layer. Okay, for that we need to create a new layer, and to do this, go to this spinner placed at the top right corner of the Unity 3D software and go to Edit Layers, and here type in your own layer. Okay, for example, zombie layer, enter. Okay, then you have just created a new layer. Okay, if you go here again, you will see a zombie layer appears as a new layer. As you can see here, next to each layer there are 2 icons. There are 2 icons, an eye icon and a lock icon. The eye icon lets you show or hide a specific layer, and the lock icon lets you make an object and a game object, clickable or not. Okay, so for example, how do I change a game object layer? Click the game object you want and change here next to the layer label. Click the spinner and select zombie layer. Now this game object will be inside the zombie layer. By default, when you create a game object, it will be placed at the default layer, as you can see here. Change zombie 1, zombie 2, and zombie 4 to zombie layer, and let zombie 3 to be inside the default layer. Okay, fine. So we have zombie 1 inside zombie layer, zombie 2 inside zombie layer, zombie 3 inside the default layer, and zombie 4 inside the zombie layer. If you go to the main camera next to the calling mask property and select nothing, you are telling the camera, hey, I don't want you to show anything inside the game view. Now your main camera is not showing anything. If you click a specific layer, you will, for example, if you click default layer, you are telling the main camera, hey, I want you to display only those game objects who are inside the default layer. Okay, here you selected it here next to the calling mask property of the camera. Okay, if you also click zombie layer, Then you have here two layers selected inside calling mask. Then your main camera will be showing all of the game objects inside your scene that are inside whether the default layer or the zombie layer. If you deselect the default layer here, then you're telling the main camera, hey, I want you to show only those game objects who are inside the zombie layer. Okay? This is why only zombie 1 here, zombie 2 here, and zombie 4 here are being shown up. Because zombie 3 is not inside that zombie layer. Remember, zombie 3 is inside the default layer. Okay? That's all about layers. Fine. For example, if you go to this spinner again, you can lock specific layers so that you cannot accidentally click on it. For example, you can lock the default. Well, you can lock the zombie layer, for example. Now I have locked it. Okay, sorry, lock it. Fine. Now it is locked. Okay, that means that I will not be able to click on my scene any game object inside the zombie layer. Because if I go here and if you try to click here on the scene on zombie 1, zombie 2 or zombie 4, they won't be clickable. Then you cannot click them by accidentally, okay? But you can click on zombie 3 because it is not inside the zombie layer, it is inside the default layer, okay? Remember that the default layer is not locked, okay? I can, for example, unlock the zombie layer now, and now they will be clickable. This is very useful when you have a background and many elements in it, so that you don't accidentally click on the background and change its position, for example, okay? Now try locking the zombie layer, okay? Well, not, sorry, the default layer, okay? Now, which of those zombies will not be clickable? Of course, the answer is zombie 3. Will not able to click the zombie 3 game object, okay? Because zombie 3 is inside the default layer and the default layer is now locked, okay? But we can click on zombie 4, zombie 2 and zombie 1 game objects who are inside the zombie layer, okay? I think that's all for layers, okay? So this lecture is pretty short, but I think that layers doesn't have too much mystery. We'll be covering some programming techniques inside layers, okay? For example, when you use a ray cast hit to detect collision between objects, that is rather an advanced topic that we will be covering later on in this course. You may want to detect if zombie 4 is been colliding with zombie 2 or with zombie 1, and then you can act in consequence, okay? If, for example, zombie 4 collides with zombie 3, then the zombie 4 dies. But if the zombie 4 collides with zombie 1, then the zombie 1 will die, not the zombie 4. This is done by code detecting the different layers they are inside, okay? But this is an advanced topic that we will cover later on. So I think that's all for this chapter. Thank you for watching this video and see you in the next lecture.